Hello, everyone. Today we will be discussing the powerful idea behind the book, You Become What You Believe, and how it can change your life. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you really like what I do here. It'll give me the motivation to keep bringing you content that will improve your life. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into it. The first thing you need to understand is the idea that you are what you believe. Yes, you read that correctly. The beliefs you hold about yourself, your world, and your potential shape your reality in ways that you might not even realize. Sounds a bit dramatic, right? Well, let me break it down for you. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. The reflection staring back at you is the product of all your beliefs, your thoughts, and your perceptions. If you think you're not good enough, then that's exactly what you'll reflect back. But here's the kicker. If you believe you can achieve greatness, that too will shine through in everything you do. This is where the magic happens. Our belief system, often ingrained since childhood, tends to control how we act, how we respond to challenges, and how we handle adversity. If you believe failure is inevitable, guess what? It probably will be. If you think you're destined for success, you'll likely do what it takes to reach that outcome. You see, belief doesn't just sit in the back of your mind as an abstract concept. It fuels your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your success. Now you might be thinking, but belief alone isn't going to help me get that promotion or lose those 20 pounds. You're absolutely right. Belief without action is like a car without gas. It's not going anywhere. But belief is the fuel that keeps the engine running. It's what gives you the energy and the motivation to take that first step, to push through obstacles, and to keep going when things get tough. Take a moment to think about someone you admire. Maybe it's a successful entrepreneur, an athlete, or even a public figure. What do they all have in common? They believe in themselves. They've cultivated a mindset that anything is possible with hard work, perseverance, and belief in their own abilities. And that's what we're going to explore in the coming sections. But don't worry, this isn't just about giving you some motivational speech and leaving you to figure it all out on your own. No, we're going to dive deep into the science behind belief, the power of your self-image, and how you can shift from a negative to a positive belief system. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand how belief shapes your reality, but you'll have the tools to transform your life. So, here's where we take a deeper dive into the science of belief, specifically how it's backed by psychology and neuroscience. I promise we'll keep it interesting. No need to grab your textbooks just yet. If you're still wondering whether belief is just some fluffy concept or a real scientifically backed phenomenon, you're in the right place. Let's start with the brain. Your brain, believe it or not, is wired to believe whatever you tell. It's like a sponge that soaks up thoughts, impressions, and experiences, shaping your understanding of the world. That's why your beliefs are so powerful. The brain doesn't care whether the belief is true or false. It just works with what it's been told. If you've been telling yourself for years that you're bad at math, your brain starts to believe it. And guess what? It will create patterns that make you avoid anything math-related. Here's where it gets interesting. The brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. You might think that's a pretty wild concept, but think about it for a second. When you picture something vividly in your mind, like winning an award or delivering a perfect speech, your brain activates the same regions it would if it were happening right then and there. You're literally training your brain for success, even if it's just in your mind. But this also works the other way. If you imagine failure, pain, or embarrassment over and over, your brain gets comfortable with those scenarios too. It starts to form neural pathways that make you more likely to fail or feel fearful. This is called neuroplasticity. It's the ability of your brain to rewire itself based on the thoughts and experiences it encounters. So if you constantly tell yourself that you're unlucky or doomed to fail, your brain starts to believe it. This isn't some mystical force at play. This is real science. Your brain is a giant computer, and your thoughts are the code. If you program it with positive beliefs, it will work towards those outcomes. If you fill it with negativity, you'll keep reinforcing negative patterns. Your beliefs shape the way your brain processes reality, and that's how your life unfolds. But don't worry, you can rewire your brain at any time. This is where self-awareness comes in. The first step to changing your beliefs is recognizing that you have the power to choose them. If you're stuck in a negative pattern, you can break it by consciously replacing those thoughts with more empowering ones. And no, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and consistency. But just like learning a new skill, the more you practice positive thinking, the more your brain will adapt and create new pathways for success. So how does this play out in your daily life? Well, imagine waking up and telling yourself, "Today is going to be a great day," rather than dreading the challenges ahead. The more you repeat this, the more likely it is that your day will actually be better. It's not about ignoring the difficulties, but training your brain to focus on the possibilities instead of the obstacles. This shift in mindset is scientifically proven to have a direct impact on your mood, productivity, and overall well-being. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever walked into a room with someone who exudes confidence? They don't need to say anything. They just are confident. And that confidence is contagious. It's a direct result of their beliefs. When you believe in yourself, others pick up on that energy. It affects how they perceive you and ultimately how you perceive yourself. This, my friend, is the power of belief at work. Remember, you are literally the sum of your beliefs. You're not just this passive observer in your life. Your thoughts are shaping everything around you. Your brain is listening, and it's responding to what you tell it every single day. Before we continue, take a moment and reflect. What beliefs do you currently hold about yourself? Are they empowering or are they holding you back? You have the power to shift those beliefs, starting right now. Now that we've covered the science behind belief and how it shapes your reality, let's talk about something that's a bit more personal, the role of self-image. This one's big, and if you've ever struggled with your self-worth, I promise you're not alone. Your self-image is essentially the mental picture you hold of yourself. It's how you see yourself, whether that's in terms of appearance, abilities, or how others perceive you. Think about it. When you look in the mirror, the reflection you see isn't just a physical image, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself too. And guess what? That reflection shapes your reality. It's like a loop. How you see yourself dictates how others see you, and how they see you reinforces how you see yourself. Mind-blowing, right? Let's be real for a second. Everyone has insecurities. Whether it's about your looks, your intelligence, or your capabilities, we all have areas where we feel like we fall short. But here's the secret. Those insecurities are often tied to the beliefs you have about yourself. If you believe that you're not good enough, it doesn't matter how many people tell you you're awesome. You'll still doubt yourself, because deep down, you don't believe it. Here's where the power of self-image comes in. You can change how you see yourself. You can start by challenging those negative beliefs that have been ingrained in you for so long. The first step is awareness. Take a look at how you talk to yourself. When you make a mistake, do you say, "I'm an idiot," or "I messed up, but I can learn from this"? The way you talk to yourself matters, and it impacts your self-image. For example, let's say you've always believed that you're terrible at public speaking. It's a belief that was likely formed early in life when you were asked to present in front of the class and stumbled over your words. That moment stuck with you. Now, whenever you have to speak in front of others, you feel anxious and insecure because your belief is that you're not good at it. But what if you could change that belief? What if you started to tell yourself, "I may have struggled with public speaking in the past, but I'm getting better every time"? The more you tell yourself this, the more your self-image will start to shift. You'll start to see yourself as someone who is capable of speaking confidently. And guess what? That belief will push you to take action. Maybe you practice more, or you start to feel less nervous when speaking in front of others. Before you know it, your self-image has transformed, and so has your reality. It's a gradual process, of course. But if you start today, you'll notice changes over time. It's like building muscle at the gym. At first, it's tough, but with consistent effort, you'll start to see results. And the best part? It's all based on how you perceive yourself. Your self-image doesn't have to be fixed. You can redefine it at any time. One of the most powerful ways to shift your self-image is through affirmations. You've probably heard about them, but they're more than just positive thinking. They're a tool for reprogramming your brain. Repeating positive statements about yourself can help reinforce new beliefs, and over time, these new beliefs become part of your self-image. For instance, if you want to improve your self-image around relationships, you might start affirming, "I am worthy of love and respect." At first, you might not believe it, but the more you say it, the more you start to internalize it. You'll notice that you start acting differently in relationships. You set better boundaries, communicate more effectively, and attract healthier connections. Another example is with self-confidence. If you've always believed you're not confident, try saying, "I am confident and capable." It might feel a little awkward at first, but the key is repetition. Eventually, you'll start to see yourself as someone who exudes confidence, and you'll act accordingly. Remember, your self-image is not a fixed, permanent thing. It's a dynamic reflection of your beliefs and experiences, and it can be changed. By consciously shifting the way you see yourself, you're not only changing your thoughts, you're changing the way you show up in the world. In the next part, we'll dive into how you can shift from negative to positive beliefs. It's a process that involves both awareness and action, but with the right tools, you'll be well on your way to building a stronger, more empowering belief system. All right, now that we've talked about the science of belief and the role your self-image plays, it's time to address something that many of us struggle with, shifting from negative to positive beliefs. It sounds easier said than done, right? But trust me, it's possible, and it's more about consistent effort than a sudden magic transformation. First things first. Why is it so hard to shift negative beliefs? Well, our brains are wired for survival, and historically it's been more beneficial to focus on the negatives. If a caveman heard a rustling in the bushes, he wasn't thinking, "Oh, that might be a friendly animal." He was thinking, "That could be a predator. I better stay alert." In modern times, this translates into a tendency to focus on the problems and dangers around us, rather than seeing the opportunities. But here's the thing. Your brain isn't helping you when it focuses on negative thoughts. In fact, it's keeping you stuck. So, how do we change this? It all starts with awareness. The first step in shifting from negative to positive beliefs is recognizing when a negative thought pops into your head. We all have them, those little moments where you think, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough." The key is to catch yourself in that moment. When you notice those negative beliefs creeping in, it's time to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief based on reality, or is it something I've told myself over and over? More often than not, you'll find that these negative beliefs are rooted in old experiences, judgments, or stories you've been carrying around for years. Here's an example. Let's say you've always believed that you're bad at relationships. Maybe you've had a few failed relationships in the past, and now, in your mind, that defines you. You tell yourself, "I'll never find love," or "I'm not capable of having a healthy relationship." These thoughts may seem true in the moment, but they're not the full picture. Just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it defines your future. To shift this negative belief, start by asking yourself, what evidence do I have that I'm bad at relationships? What if there are other ways I can approach relationships that would help me succeed? This is where the magic happens. By questioning the negative belief, you're forcing your brain to look for new evidence, and over time, this helps to reframe your thinking. Another powerful tool for shifting beliefs is self-compassion. This is something that's often overlooked when we talk about personal growth. We tend to be our own harshest critics, but if you want to shift from negative to positive beliefs, you need to treat yourself with kindness. Instead of beating yourself up for making mistakes, try saying, "It's okay. I'm human. I can learn and grow from this. This mindset doesn't just help you feel better in the moment. It actually strengthens your belief in your own ability to succeed. Once you start challenging negative beliefs and replacing them with more positive ones, you'll notice changes in your behavior. When you believe you're worthy of love, you'll attract healthier relationships. When you believe you can succeed in your career, you'll take steps toward your goals that you might have avoided before. Your beliefs shape your actions, and those actions create your reality. But let's be clear here. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect or ignoring real challenges. Positive thinking doesn't mean you ignore difficulties. It means you approach them with a mindset that believes solutions are possible. It's about seeing opportunities even when things are tough. The goal is to shift your perspective so that you're no longer defined by the negative beliefs that have been holding you back. One way to solidify this shift is through daily practices like gratitude journaling or affirmations. Taking a moment each day to write down what you're grateful for helps to retrain your brain to focus on the positive. And when you repeat positive affirmations, you're literally rewiring your brain to believe in your own potential. It might sound cheesy at first, but I promise you, it works. As you continue practicing this shift from negative to positive beliefs, you'll start to see small but powerful changes in your life. You'll approach challenges with more confidence, and you'll notice that the negative beliefs you once held no longer have the same hold on you. And before you know it, you'll have built a belief system that supports your growth, rather than holding you back. Next, we'll dive into the subconscious mind and how it plays a huge role in shaping your beliefs. Trust me, this is where things get even more interesting, because the subconscious is like the hidden force that drives most of your thoughts and actions. Ready? Let's go. Now that we've discussed how to shift from negative to positive beliefs, let's delve into something that might seem a little mysterious at first: the subconscious mind. Trust me, understanding this will be a game changer. So, what is the subconscious mind, and why is it so crucial in shaping our beliefs? Think of your subconscious mind as the backstage crew of a theater production. It's the part of your mind that works behind the scenes, pulling the strings and influencing your thoughts and behaviors without you even realizing it. Everything you've experienced in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, is stored in your subconscious. These experiences, whether they're from childhood, adolescence, or even last week, form beliefs that are deeply embedded in your mind. These beliefs, in turn, shape how you see the world and how you act in it. The subconscious doesn't operate on logic. It doesn't care whether your beliefs are rational or true. It only cares about what you've been taught and what you've internalized. If you've been told time and time again that you're not good enough, your subconscious will take that as truth. It will form patterns based on these beliefs and, before you know it, those patterns will control your life. This is why it's so difficult to break free from old, limiting beliefs. They're not just surface-level thoughts. They're deeply embedded in your subconscious mind. But here's the good news. You can reprogram your subconscious. Yes, you have the power to change the beliefs stored deep in your mind. It's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it is absolutely possible with the right techniques. One of the most effective ways to reprogram your subconscious mind is through repetition. Just like a computer program that needs to be rewritten, your subconscious mind can be rewired by repeating new beliefs over and over again. The more you practice positive self-talk, the more your subconscious will begin to absorb these new thoughts and replace the old limiting beliefs with more empowering ones. Take affirmations, for example. When you repeat statements like, "I am confident and capable," or "I deserve success," you're not just saying words. You're planting new seeds in your subconscious. Over time, these affirmations start to take root, and your subconscious mind begins to believe them. You'll start to notice changes in your actions, because your subconscious will begin to influence your behavior in alignment with these new beliefs. Another powerful tool for reprogramming your subconscious is visualization. Have you ever heard the saying, "What you can see, you can achieve"? Well, it's true. The subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. That's why athletes, for example, visualize their performance before a big game. They're essentially training their subconscious to believe that success is possible. You can use visualization in your own life to help you overcome negative odd beliefs. Close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding in your goals. See yourself confidently giving a presentation, or landing your dream job, or having the loving relationship you've always desired. The more real and vivid you make this experience, the more your subconscious mind will start to accept it as possible. But here's the catch. Visualization alone isn't enough. It has to be paired with consistent action. Your subconscious mind can help set the stage, but you still need to take the steps necessary to make your vision a reality. If you believe, you can run a marathon, but you never actually train for it. Your subconscious belief won't magically make it happen. It's the combination of belief and action that creates lasting change. Now let's address the elephant in the room, resistance. When you first start trying to reprogram your subconscious mind, you'll likely encounter resistance. The old limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained, and they'll fight to stay in control. You might feel like it's not working, or that your old beliefs are too powerful to overcome. But don't give up. Resistance is a natural part of the process. It's just your subconscious mind clinging to the familiar, even if that familiarity is keeping you stuck. The more you persist, the more the new beliefs will begin to take hold. Remember, reprogramming your subconscious mind isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term practice. But with dedication and persistence, you'll start to see the results. You'll notice that the old limiting beliefs no longer have the same power over you. You'll begin to believe in yourself and your potential in ways you never thought possible. Next, we're going to talk about a concept that's incredibly powerful. In shaping beliefs, visualization. We've touched on it a little, but now we'll dive deep into how you can use visualization to reinforce your beliefs and manifest the life you want. Ready? Let's go. Now that we've explored the subconscious mind and how to reprogram it, let's take a deeper dive into one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal, visualization. This technique has been used by successful athletes, performers, and entrepreneurs for decades, and its impact is nothing short of extraordinary. At its core, visualization is the act of vividly imagining a desired outcome or experience. It's like watching a mental movie where you're the star and everything unfolds just as you want it. Sounds simple enough, right? But there's a reason why it works so well. It taps directly into the power of belief, and more specifically, it helps align your subconscious mind with your conscious goals. The idea behind visualization is rooted in the brain's ability to create reality. Remember how we discussed how the brain doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imagined? Well, when you visualize a successful outcome, whether it's acing a presentation, running a marathon, or landing a job, your brain treats that mental rehearsal as if it were happening in real time. It activates the same neural pathways as if you were actually experiencing the event. Here's an example. Let's say you're preparing for an important meeting. Instead of just walking in and hoping everything goes well, you take a few moments to close your eyes and visualize yourself confidently speaking, engaging with your audience, and answering questions with ease. You can see it, feel it, and hear it in your mind. Your brain then starts to believe that this outcome is not only possible but also highly likely. When you walk into that meeting, your subconscious mind is already aligned with the belief that you'll succeed, and that confidence will shine through in your actions. But here's the catch. Visualization isn't just about imagining the end result. It's about immersing yourself in the process. Instead of only picturing the final moment, you need to visualize the steps that lead up to it. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, for example, don't just imagine yourself at the top of the ladder. Imagine yourself working through the challenges, overcoming obstacles, making tough decisions, and growing stronger along the way. The more you visualize the process, the more prepared and confident you'll feel when the time comes. Now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually do this? Is it just about closing my eyes and hoping for the best? Great question. Visualization takes practice, and it requires focus and intention. Here are a few steps you can take to start using visualization effectively. Create a clear vision. Before you start visualizing, be clear about what you want to achieve. The more specific your vision, the more powerful the visualization will be. Instead of just imagining success, picture the exact details. What does it feel like? What do you see, hear, and experience? The more sensory details you can add, the stronger the impact on your subconscious mind. Set the right environment. Find a quiet space where you can relax and focus without distractions. This will help you enter a calm and focused state, which is key for effective visualization. Use all your senses. As you visualize, try to engage all your senses. Feel the emotions associated with success, whether it's pride, excitement, or satisfaction. Hear the sounds that would accompany your success, like applause, laughter, or the hum of activity around you. The more you immerse yourself in the experience, the more your brain will treat it like a reality. Practice regularly. Like anything, visualization gets stronger the more you practice it. Try to set aside a few minutes every day to visualize your success. Whether it's first thing in the morning or right before bed, consistent practice will help reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. Believe in the process. Visualization alone isn't enough. You have to believe in the process and trust that your efforts will pay off. Combine visualization with consistent action, and you'll create a powerful feedback loop that propels you toward your goals. But let's not sugarcoat it. Visualization isn't a magic pill. It's not going to make your dreams come true overnight. It's a tool to align your mind with your goals, but it's still up to you to take the necessary steps and do the work. If you visualize yourself running a marathon but never lace up your shoes, well, your visualization isn't going to carry you across the finish line. Here's where the real power of visualization lies. It builds your belief in yourself and your goals. When you consistently visualize success, you start to believe that it's not only possible, but inevitable. And that belief, my friends, is what will drive you to take action. The more you believe in yourself and your vision, the more motivated and confident you'll feel. The world responds to that energy. Success becomes a byproduct of your belief and actions. Now that you have a tool to reinforce your belief system, it's time to tackle one of the biggest barriers to success: doubts and fears. In the next section, we'll talk about how to face those fears head-on and overcome the mental blocks that hold us back from achieving our goals. Get ready. This one's going to be eye-opening. Now that we've explored the power of visualization and how it can help shape your belief system, let's talk about something that trips up so many of us on our journey to success: fear and doubt. These two sneaky little emotions can stop us in our tracks, no matter how much we believe in ourselves or how hard we work. But here's the thing: you don't have to let them control you. Fear and doubt are natural parts of being human. They've been around since the dawn of time, and they play a key role in keeping us safe. Back in the day, fear kept our ancestors from wandering too far from the cave, and doubt helped them question whether the new berry they found was poisonous. But in modern life, these same feelings have been hijacked by our brains and now often serve no purpose other than to keep us from reaching our full potential. So how do we overcome them? First, let's take a look at what fear and doubt really are. Fear is simply a response to the unknown. It's your mind imagining a worst-case scenario, even if there's no real threat. It's that little voice in your head saying, "What if I fail?" Or, "What if people laugh at me?" Fear is sneaky because it doesn't always feel like fear. Sometimes it masquerades as logic, as being realistic, but the truth is, the fear you feel is often just a projection of your mind making something seem far worse than it really is. Doubt, on the other hand, is a direct byproduct of your belief system. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll doubt your ability to succeed. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll question every decision you make, second-guessing yourself before you even take action. Doubt creates a wall in your mind, blocking you from taking steps toward your goals, no matter how achievable they may be. So, how do we deal with these mental roadblocks? The first step is to acknowledge them. Don't try to ignore or deny that you're afraid or doubtful. That only gives these emotions more power. Instead, take a deep breath and recognize that fear and doubt are simply temporary feelings. They don't define you. Once you acknowledge them, you can begin to dismantle them. The next step is to question the validity of your fears. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And then, really think about it. If your fear is about failing, for example, consider the worst-case scenario. Maybe you fail, so what? Does that mean the end of the world? Not even close. Failure is a learning experience, a chance to grow and improve. It's not a permanent state, but a stepping stone on the path to success. Sometimes, fear is rooted in a past experience. Maybe you've tried something before and failed, so now you're scared to try again. But here's the secret. Failure doesn't define you. What defines you is how you get back up, how you learn from that experience, and how you move forward. Every successful person has failed at some point, but they didn't let it stop them. They used it as fuel to push forward, to keep trying, and eventually, they succeeded. Another important tool for overcoming fear and doubt is action. That's right. Action is the antidote. The more you take action, even small steps, the more you show yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Every little win builds momentum and chips away at those fears. The more you do, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. It's like learning to swim. At first, the water is scary, but the more you swim, the more comfortable and confident you become. One of the most powerful ways to deal with doubt is to reframe your thinking. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask yourself, "What if I succeed?" Imagine the possibilities that come with success. What would your life look like if you achieved your goals? How would you feel? This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering, turning your focus away from fear and toward excitement and possibility. Finally, remember that fear and doubt are not signs of weakness. They're signs that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. Growth happens when you push past your limitations, when you face your fears head-on. Think about it. Every time you've been afraid or doubted yourself, but pushed through anyway, didn't you feel amazing afterward? That's the feeling you're chasing. In the next section, we'll talk about how belief translates into action. You see, belief alone is powerful, but without action, it's like a car without fuel. It's not going anywhere. You'll learn how to take the steps needed to turn your beliefs into real-world success. Now that we've tackled the fear and doubt that can hold us back, let's shift gears and talk about something equally important: how belief translates into action. You might be wondering, okay, so I believe in myself, I've visualized success, and I've overcome my fears. But how do I actually make things happen? Well, this is where the rubber meets the road. Belief is a powerful force, but without action, it's just an idea in your head. It's like having a great recipe but no ingredients, or wanting to run a marathon but never leaving your couch. Action is the bridge that takes your beliefs and turns them into tangible results. The first thing you need to understand is that action comes from belief. When you believe in your ability to succeed, it propels you to take steps toward your goals. If you're convinced that you can't run a business, for instance, you're less likely to even try. But if you believe you have what it takes to succeed, that belief will push you to take action, even if it's just a small step. Action doesn't, have to be huge. It just needs to be consistent. Let's break this down a bit further. Imagine you've set a goal to lose 20 pounds. If you believe you're capable of doing it, you're more likely to take the first step. Maybe it's signing up for a gym, planning your meals, or going for a walk. But if you don't believe you can lose the weight, you'll likely come up with 100 excuses to avoid taking action. Your belief system directly affects whether you take action at all. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the action itself can build belief. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. You take action, and that action builds your belief. For example, when you take that first step, whether it's getting a gym membership or eating a healthier meal, you start to see results. And those small results can have a huge impact on your belief system. It's like a snowball effect. The more action you take, the more confident you become in your ability to achieve your goal. This is why consistency is key. You might not see immediate results, but every time you take action, you're reinforcing the belief that you can succeed. Think about it like working out. On the first day, you might not see any physical change, but if you keep showing up, your body will respond. The same goes for any goal. It's the small, consistent actions that add up over time and create real change. Now, don't get me wrong. Taking action isn't always easy. Some days, you'll feel motivated and excited to work toward your goal. Other days, it'll feel like a struggle. But here's the thing. Even on the tough days, taking action is still crucial. It's easy to take action when everything is going well, but it's when things get hard that your belief and action are truly tested. One of the best ways to stay consistent in taking action is by breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't just look at the peak and say, "I'll never make it." You take it one step at a time, break your larger goal into smaller tasks, and focus on completing each one. This makes the goal feel less overwhelming and more achievable. Let's use the marathon example again. If your goal is to run a marathon, don't focus on running the full 26 miles right away. Start with smaller milestones. Maybe it's running a mile without stopping, then 2, then 5. Celebrate each victory along the way. With each small victory, your belief in your ability to run that marathon grows, and the action you take will build on itself. Another great way to stay motivated and keep taking action is by surrounding yourself with positive influences. When you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take action, but when you're surrounded by others who also believe in you, it's like having a support system that pushes you to keep going. Whether it's friends, family, or a community of like-minded individuals, having people who encourage and believe in you can make all the difference. At the same time, you need to be mindful of the environment you create for yourself. If you surround yourself with negativity or people who don't believe in your goals, it's going to be much harder to take action. Your environment plays a huge role in your belief system, and if your environment is unsupportive, it can chip away at your confidence and motivation. So, create a positive space that encourages growth and action. Remember, belief without action is just a dream. It's the actions you take, no matter how small, that turn your dreams into reality. So, don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Take action today, even if it's just a baby step. Every step counts, and every step reinforces your belief in yourself. And soon enough, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. In the next section, we'll talk about the impact of your environment on your belief system. We've all heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But how true is that? Let's explore the influence of your environment and how to navigate it, especially when it's not as supportive as you'd like it to be. Now that we've explored the importance of turning belief into action, let's dive into something that often goes unnoticed but can make or break your success: the environment you surround yourself with. If you've ever heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, you might have shrugged it off. But here's the kicker. It's actually true, and I'm going to show you exactly how your environment influences your beliefs, actions, and overall success. First, let's talk about the power of people. Your friends, family, colleagues, these are the people who have the ability to lift you up or bring you down. You might not realize it, but the energy of those around you has a huge impact on your mindset. If you surround yourself with people who encourage your dreams, who support your growth, and who have a positive outlook, it's going to be much easier to believe in yourself. But, on the flip side, if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, people who doubt you, or those who don't understand your goals, your belief system will start to shift in a direction you don't want. The thing is, we often underestimate the impact of our environment. We think we can be strong enough to ignore the negativity around us, but the truth is, the energy of others is contagious. If you're constantly around people who complain, make excuses, or talk about their failures, that mindset will slowly seep into your own beliefs. Before you know it, you start doubting yourself, your abilities, and your potential for success. So, what do you do about it? First, take stock of the people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? It's hard to see when you're in the thick of it, but it's important to be honest with yourself. If you realize that certain people in your life are bringing you down or reinforcing limiting beliefs, you may need to set some boundaries. Now, setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting people out of your life completely, unless that's necessary, of course, but it does mean protecting your energy. You can still love and care for people who might not be supportive of your goals, but you don't have to let their negativity impact your belief system. In fact, it's crucial to limit the time you spend with people who drain your energy and replace that time with people who inspire and motivate you. And here's the thing. It's not just people. Your environment includes the physical space around you as well. Think about your home, your office, your daily surroundings. Is your space cluttered and chaotic, or is it organized and inspiring? Believe it or not, your environment plays a huge role in how you think and feel. If you wake up every morning to a messy room or a disorganized workspace, it can subconsciously send the message that you're not in control, that your goals aren't prioritized. A cluttered space can create mental clutter, which makes it harder to believe in your own potential. On the other hand, creating an environment that reflects your goals and aspirations can have a powerful effect on your mindset. If you're aiming for success, surround yourself with reminders of that success. Put up a vision board, decorate your space with motivational quotes, or fill your surroundings with things that inspire you. A clean, organized, and inspiring environment can reinforce your belief system and remind you every day of what you're working towards. But it's not just about your physical surroundings. It's also about the media you consume. The books, podcasts, movies, and social media content you expose yourself to have a massive impact on your beliefs and mindset. Are you filling your mind with content that supports your goals, or are you consuming negativity and stories of failure? If you're spending hours every day watching the news or scrolling through social media, you might be unknowingly filling your mind with fear and doubt. So, what can you do about it? Start being intentional about what you allow into your mind. Choose books that inspire you, follow social media accounts that motivate you, and listen to podcasts that reinforce your belief in yourself and your potential. Surrounding yourself with positive, empowering content will help strengthen your belief system and keep you focused on your goals. Here's the good news. You have control over your environment. You can decide who and what you allow into your life. It might take some effort to distance yourself from negative influences, but trust me, it's worth it. When you surround yourself with people who believe in you, when you create an environment that nurtures your growth, and when you fill your mind with positive influences, your belief system will be unstoppable. Now, what if your environment is genuinely toxic and there's not much you can do to change it right away? This is where the power of self-reliance comes in. You don't need external validation to believe in yourself. You don't need to rely on others to reinforce your belief system. Yes, a positive environment can be a huge help, But ultimately, it's up to you to maintain your belief no matter what's happening around you. In the next section, we'll discuss one of the most effective ways to reprogram your beliefs and make them stick: affirmations. These little statements might seem simple, but when used correctly, they can transform your life. So stick around, because we're about to unlock one of the most powerful tools you can use to reinforce your belief system and build lasting change. Now that we've explored how your environment plays a significant role in shaping your belief system, let's move on to one of the most powerful tools you can use to reprogram your mind and reinforce positive beliefs: affirmations. Yes, these simple, repetitive statements can have a profound impact on your mindset, and I'm about to show you exactly how to make them work for you. If you've ever heard someone say, "Just repeat after me, I am worthy, I am powerful, I'm enough," you might have rolled your eyes. It can sound a little like magic or wishful thinking, but trust me, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye when it comes to affirmations. These little statements are far from trivial. They're a tool for rewiring your brain, and they can help you shift from negative to positive beliefs. So why do affirmations work? The answer lies in the power of repetition. Just like we've discussed before, your brain is like a sponge, constantly soaking up thoughts, experiences, and beliefs. But here's the thing. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between truth and falsehood. It simply accepts whatever you repeatedly tell it. This means that if you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," or "I'm not worthy of love," your brain starts to internalize those beliefs as truth. And guess what? That internalized belief system starts to dictate your actions, your behaviors, and your outcomes. Now let's flip the script. When you use affirmations, you're telling your subconscious mind a different story. Instead of focusing on your flaws or limitations, you're planting seeds of positive, empowering beliefs. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more your subconscious begins to accept them as truth. Over time, these positive beliefs replace the negative ones, and your reality starts to shift. Let's break this down into some simple steps you can follow to start using affirmations effectively. B. Specific and positive. The key to creating powerful affirmations is to make them specific and positive. Instead of saying, "I'm not bad at math," say, "I am confident and capable of solving any math problem." Instead of, "I will try to be successful," say, "I am successful and I achieve my goals every day." The more specific and positive you can make your affirmation, the stronger its impact will be. Make them present tense. Affirmations work best when they are stated in the present tense. Your brain responds more powerfully when you say, "I am confident," rather than "I will be confident." The idea is to act as though your desired belief is already true, which helps you internalize it as part of your current reality. Repetition is key. To make affirmations work, you need to repeat them regularly. Think of them as a mental workout. Just like you go to the gym to strengthen your body, repeating affirmations strengthens your belief system. Aim to say them multiple times a day, first thing in the morning, before bed, and anytime you need a boost of confidence. Visualize while you affirm. When you repeat your affirmations, try to visualize what your life will look like once your belief becomes reality. For example, if your affirmation is about being confident in public speaking, picture yourself on stage, speaking clearly and confidently while your audience listens intently. Visualization adds another layer of power to your affirmations, reinforcing the positive belief with sensory details. Believe in the process. This is probably the hardest part of using affirmations, truly believing in the process. When you start, you might feel skeptical or uncomfortable. After all, how can you just say something over and over and expect it to change your life? But remember, your subconscious doesn't care whether it's true or not. The more you repeat it, the more your mind starts to accept it as fact. And over time, you'll begin to see real-world changes that reflect these new beliefs. The beauty of affirmations is that they are simple and accessible. You don't need any special skills or tools to start using them, just your voice and your mind. And while they might seem a little woo-woo at first, don't dismiss them. Countless successful people swear by them. From athletes to entrepreneurs to actors, many of the world's top achievers use affirmations as part of their daily routine to keep their minds focused and their belief systems strong. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The more you practice affirmations, the more you begin to notice shifts in your reality. You'll find yourself taking more positive actions, feeling more confident, and experiencing greater success. It's like a snowball effect. Your beliefs become stronger, your actions become bolder, and before you know it, your goals start to fall into place. But here's the thing. Affirmations aren't a magic fix. They won't do all the work for you. They are, however, a powerful tool to align your thoughts, actions, and beliefs with your goals. The more you use them, the more your belief system will start to shift, and the more your reality will start to reflect those changes. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at how past experiences shape our beliefs. It's something that often goes unnoticed, but the way we interpret our past can have a huge impact on our present and future. So stay tuned, because we're about to unpack how your history influences the way you believe in yourself and your potential. Now that we've explored the power of affirmations and how they can help reprogram your belief system, it's time to dive into something that often holds us back without us even realizing it: our past experiences. If you've ever wondered why certain negative beliefs seem to follow you around even when you try to shake them off, the answer lies in how your past shapes your present beliefs. Think about this. The way you interpret your past, your childhood, your relationships, the challenges you've faced, plays a huge role in the beliefs you hold today. Your mind is a storyteller, constantly making sense of the world, and it forms beliefs based on your past experiences. For example, if you were told as a child that you weren't good enough or you repeatedly failed at something, your subconscious mind takes those experiences and creates beliefs around them. These beliefs can shape how you view yourself, your abilities, and your potential. Here's the tricky part. Many of these beliefs are formed unconsciously. You might not even realize that your past is still influencing your present beliefs. You may be carrying around old wounds, stories, or judgments that no longer serve you, but they continue to shape the way you see yourself and the world. The belief that you're not worthy of success or that you'll never be good enough could have started long ago, in a moment where someone else's words or actions made an impact on you. But here's the thing. Your past does not have to define your future. You have the power to rewrite your story. This doesn't mean ignoring or forgetting your past, but rather reframing it. Instead of seeing your failures, mistakes, or painful experiences as evidence that you're not good enough, you can choose to see them as lessons. Every challenge you've faced has taught you something valuable. Every failure has given you the opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Let me give you an example. Think back to a time when you faced failure or disappointment. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a relationship that ended, or a goal you didn't achieve. How did you interpret that experience? Did you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed"? Or did you say, "This is a setback, but I can learn from it and do better next time"? The way you interpret these events is what shapes your beliefs moving forward. Reframing your past isn't about pretending things didn't happen or ignoring the pain you may have experienced. It's about changing the way you see those experiences. Instead of allowing them to dictate your beliefs, you can choose to view them as stepping stones on your journey. For example, instead of thinking, "I failed, so I'm a failure," you can reframe it as, "I failed, but now I know what doesn't work. I'm one step closer to figuring it out." One of the most powerful ways to reframe your past is through a practice known as self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would offer a friend. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things go wrong, but self-compassion allows you to step back and give yourself the grace to grow from your experiences. It's about recognizing that you're human, that mistakes are a natural part of life, and that they don't define your worth. Another way to shift the impact of your past is to actively forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened or excusing poor behavior. It simply means releasing the hold that those past experiences have on you. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret only keeps you tied to the past, and it prevents you from moving forward. Forgiveness frees you to embrace the future with an open heart and mind. Now, this process of reframing and forgiveness isn't a one-time fix. It's ongoing. You'll likely find that your past beliefs creep back in from time to time. That's okay. The key is to recognize when they show up and consciously choose to reframe them. It's like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you get. Over time, you'll start to see the world through a new lens, one that's not shaped by past failures or hurts, but by your belief in your potential for success. The beauty of this process is that it gives you control. You don't have to stay stuck in old beliefs that no longer serve you. You have the ability to rewrite your story at any time. Your past is just that, the past. It's a collection of experiences, but it doesn't have to determine who you are today or who you will become in the future. In the next section, we'll talk about how trust and faith, both in yourself and in the process, play a crucial role in building a strong belief system. You can have all the tools, techniques, and strategies in the world, but without trust, you won't be able to fully commit to your goals. So, get ready to dive into how faith and trust can transform your belief system and help you achieve your dreams. Now that we've worked through the power of reframing your past and how to shift the beliefs formed by past experiences, let's talk about something that many people overlook when building a strong belief system: faith and trust. It might sound a bit abstract, but stick with me here, because trust and faith are critical components in cultivating an unshakable belief in yourself and your potential. First, let's tackle the difference between faith and trust. Faith, in this context, is the belief that things will work out in the end, even if you don't know how. It's the belief that, despite the challenges, you can still reach your goals. Trust, on the other hand, is the confidence you have in the process. It's trusting that every step you take, no matter how small, is part of your journey toward success. Faith is the overarching belief in the outcome, and trust is your belief in the journey itself. Many people think of faith as something reserved for spiritual or religious contexts, but in reality, faith is something you can apply to every area of your life. Think about it. If you don't have faith that you can succeed, you won't even bother trying. But if you have faith that success is possible for you, even when the road gets tough, you'll keep going. Faith fuels your belief system. It's the spark that keeps you moving forward when the obstacles seem insurmountable. But here's the catch. Faith isn't blind. It's not about believing that success will fall into your lap without any effort. Faith is trusting that the effort you put in is leading you toward your desired outcome, even if the results aren't immediate. When you take action based on faith, you build momentum. You take one step, then another, and with each step, your faith in yourself and in the process grows stronger. Now let's talk about trusting yourself. If you don't trust yourself, how can you expect others to? If you second-guess every decision you make or constantly doubt your abilities, you're essentially sabotaging your own progress. Trust in yourself is the foundation upon which all your actions should be built. If you trust that you have the ability to make decisions, to overcome challenges, and to learn from mistakes, you'll move through life with more confidence and ease. But trust isn't something you can just will into existence. It's built over time through action and consistency. If you've struggled with self-doubt in the past, building trust in yourself may take a little while. But here's the good news. Every small victory, Every decision you make that leads to progress builds trust. If you've been telling yourself that you can't accomplish something, prove yourself wrong by taking the first step, no matter how small it is. Each time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you reinforce your trust in your own abilities. Another important aspect of trust is learning to trust the process. Trusting the process means letting go of the need to control every single outcome. It's about understanding that success isn't a straight line. It's a winding road filled with ups and downs, twists and turns. There will be times when you feel like you're not making progress or when things don't go according to plan. But trusting the process means knowing that these moments are just part of the journey. In fact, some of the most valuable lessons come from the setbacks. When things go wrong, you learn what works and what doesn't, and that knowledge helps you grow. Trusting the process means accepting that not every step will be perfect, but each step brings you closer to your goal. One of the best ways to develop trust in the process is to adopt a mindset of patience. We live in a world where instant gratification is everywhere, whether it's fast food, instant streaming, or social media. But the reality is, most significant achievements take time. Trusting the process requires you to have patience with yourself and with your progress. It's about understanding that big changes don't happen overnight, and that's okay. You don't need everything to be perfect from the start. You just need to keep moving forward, trusting that the effort you put in will eventually pay off. But here's a little secret. Sometimes, having faith and trusting the process can feel uncomfortable. It's normal to want to have control over every aspect of your life, especially when it comes to achieving your goals. But the truth is, life is unpredictable, and the more you try to control everything, the more stressed and overwhelmed you'll feel. So, learning to let go and trust the process is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. As you build faith in yourself, in your journey, and in your goals, you'll start to notice something amazing. The world around you begins to respond. People will start to notice your confidence, your perseverance, and your ability to handle challenges with grace. Your trust in the process will be reflected in the way others perceive you, and your belief in your own potential will attract opportunities, success, and fulfillment. In the next section, we'll discuss how your belief system is directly tied to your success. We'll explore how those who have strong beliefs in their potential are more likely to take risks, overcome obstacles, and achieve their dreams. Your belief in yourself truly is the foundation of your success, and we're going to dive into why that's the case. We've explored how faith and trust play a pivotal role in shaping your belief system, but now, let's take a deeper dive into the direct relationship between belief and success. You've probably heard it said that your thoughts create your reality, and there's more truth to that statement than you might realize. The beliefs you hold about yourself, your abilities, and your potential are deeply connected to the actions you take, and ultimately the success you achieve. It all begins with your self-belief. When you believe in your own potential, you approach challenges differently. Instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable, you view them as opportunities for growth. You become more resilient in the face of setbacks because you trust that, ultimately, you will find a way to succeed. On the flip side, when you doubt your abilities, every obstacle feels like a roadblock. You hesitate, second-guess yourself, and often quit before even trying. This is where belief truly shapes your outcomes. How you approach challenges is largely determined by your belief in yourself. Let's break this down with a simple example. Imagine you're starting a new business. If you believe in your ability to succeed, you'll be more likely to take risks, make connections, and take action. You'll see opportunities where others see failure. You'll approach challenges with the mindset of, I can figure this out, and when things don't go as planned, you won't be discouraged because you believe that setbacks are just temporary, detours. But if you doubt your ability to succeed, you'll likely be paralyzed by fear. You'll second-guess every decision, avoid taking risks, and fail to take action. Instead of seeing opportunities, you'll be focused on all the ways things could go wrong. The more you doubt yourself, the more likely it is that you'll give up before you even reach the first obstacle. Your belief system directly influences your ability to overcome adversity and continue pursuing your goals. The good news is that belief in yourself isn't just an abstract concept. It's something you can cultivate and strengthen over time. Belief is a muscle, and just like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Every time you take action, face a challenge, or push past your doubts, you're strengthening your belief in yourself and your potential. This belief becomes the foundation for your actions, and it's those actions that ultimately lead to success. But let's talk about risk for a moment, because belief in yourself isn't just about feeling confident, it's also about being willing to take risks. Success rarely comes without taking chances, stepping out of your comfort zone, and trying something new. If you believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, you're more likely to take risks. And when you take risks, you open yourself up to new opportunities, new experiences, and new levels of growth. Here's an important distinction. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means stepping out of your comfort zone in a controlled way, with the understanding that failure is a possibility, but also that you have the resilience and resourcefulness to overcome it. When you have belief in your potential, you take risks with the confidence that no matter what happens, you'll learn something valuable and grow from the experience. On the other hand, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll be less likely to take those risks. You might play it safe, stick to what's comfortable, and avoid anything that could potentially lead to failure. But here's the truth. Playing it safe is often the biggest risk of all. By staying within your comfort zone, you limit your growth and prevent yourself from reaching your full potential. Now, let's talk about failure. The fear of failure is something that holds many people back from even trying. But here's a secret. Failure is a part of success. Every successful person has experienced failure, often many times. The difference is that they didn't let failure define them. They didn't give up. Instead, they learned from their mistakes and used them as stepping stones to success. If you believe that failure is a learning experience and that it's just a part of the journey, you'll be much more likely to keep going when things don't go as planned. In fact, the most successful people are often the ones who failed the most. Why? Because they understand that failure isn't permanent. They don't see it as a reflection of their abilities. They see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. When you have a strong belief in your potential, you're less likely to let failure derail you. Instead, you see it as a necessary step in the process of achieving your goals. It's also important to recognize that success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and that process requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to stay the course. But if you believe in your ability to succeed, you're much more likely to keep showing up, even when things get tough. You'll push through the obstacles, keep taking action, and eventually, you'll reach your goal. The key takeaway here is that belief in yourself is not just a feel-good concept, it's the foundation for success. When you believe in your potential, you take the actions necessary to make that belief a reality. You take risks, you learn from failure, and you keep going, no matter what. Your belief system shapes your reality, and when you believe that success is possible for you, you'll find a way to make it happen. In the next section, we'll talk about how belief in yourself and in your potential is directly linked to happiness. We'll explore how your mindset and belief system affect your overall sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in life. Get ready to discover how belief can not only help you achieve success, but also bring more happiness and peace into your life. We've discussed how belief directly impacts success, but now let's talk about something just as important: belief in happiness. You may have noticed that people who have a strong belief in their potential and in the world around them tend to radiate a sense of contentment. They seem more at ease, more satisfied with their lives, and more grateful for the journey no matter where it takes them. And here's the thing: belief isn't just a key to success, it's also the gateway to happiness. It might sound strange, but think about it for a moment. Happiness doesn't come from external circumstances. It's not about having the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect life. Sure, those things can contribute to happiness, but true happiness comes from within. It comes from how you see yourself, how you see the world, and how you choose to respond to life's ups and downs. And that's where belief comes in. When you believe in yourself and in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or defeated when things don't go as planned. You trust that no matter what challenges you face, you have the strength, the resilience, and the resources to overcome them. And that sense of inner confidence creates a deep sense of peace and contentment. Think about it. When you believe in your ability to navigate life's challenges, you stop relying on external validation for your happiness. You don't need the approval of others or the perfect circumstances to feel good about yourself. Your happiness becomes an inside job. This is why people who have a strong belief system are often happier. They're not constantly chasing after external achievements or validation. Instead, they find joy in the process, in the journey, and in the belief that everything they need to succeed and be happy is already within them. Another key aspect of happiness is gratitude. When you have a strong belief system, it's easier to cultivate a mindset of gratitude because you begin to see opportunities where others see problems. For example, when you face a setback, instead of feeling defeated, you start to see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. You're able to appreciate the lessons that come with adversity and remain hopeful and optimistic about the future. Gratitude is a powerful tool in shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you attract more of those positive experiences into your life. It's a simple yet profound shift. By believing that there's always something to be thankful for, you open yourself up to greater happiness and fulfillment. And the best part? Gratitude doesn't require any special skills or circumstances. It's something you can practice every day, no matter where you are in life. Belief also affects your ability to build meaningful connections with others. When you believe in your own worth and value, you show up in relationships with more confidence and authenticity. You're less likely to seek validation from others because you already know your worth. This makes you more open, more compassionate, and more willing to connect with others in a genuine way. And meaningful relationships, as we all know, are a huge contributor to happiness. Think about the people in your life who are the happiest. Chances are they're not the ones with the most material wealth or the most external achievements. They're the ones who have a strong sense of belief in themselves, who radiate positivity and gratitude, and who approach life with an open heart. They understand that happiness comes from within, and they don't rely on external circumstances to determine their worth or contentment. This doesn't mean that challenges won't come. Just means that you have the tools to deal with them. When you believe in yourself, you don't let setbacks or failures define you. You see them as part of the process, and you stay committed to moving forward. That belief in yourself creates a sense of inner peace, because you know that no matter what happens, you have the strength to handle it. And let's not forget about the power of positive thinking. When you believe that good things are possible for you, you start to see the world through a different lens. You focus on the opportunities, the solutions, and the potential rather than the problems. This shift in perspective has a profound impact on your overall happiness. When you believe that life is working for you, not against you, everything becomes a bit easier to navigate. You feel more in control, more optimistic, and more at peace with the present moment. Ultimately, the belief you have in yourself and in the world around you determines your experience of life. If you believe that you're worthy of success, happiness, and love, you'll start to see evidence of that in every area of your life. If you believe that the world is full of opportunities and possibilities, you'll begin to attract those opportunities to you. Your beliefs shape your reality, and when you align your beliefs with happiness and abundance, you open yourself up to a life that feels joyful, fulfilling, and deeply satisfying. In the next section, we'll discuss how to create a lifelong belief system that continues to serve you no matter what challenges come your way. We'll explore strategies for maintaining a positive belief system and how to stay grounded in your faith in yourself, even during tough times. So, let's dive into how to keep building and nurturing a belief system that will carry you through life's ups and downs. Now that we've covered how belief shapes not only success, but also happiness, let's focus on something even more powerful: how to create a lifelong belief system that will sustain you even in the face of adversity. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and unexpected turns, and while having strong beliefs is important, it's just as crucial to nurture those beliefs so they continue to serve you throughout your entire journey. Building a belief system that lasts a lifetime requires intention and consistency. It's not a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process of growth, adjustment, and self-reflection. Your beliefs are like the foundation of a house. They need to be solid, flexible, and built to withstand the storms that life inevitably brings. So, how do you keep your belief system strong over time? The first step is to anchor your beliefs in something deep and meaningful. When your beliefs are tied to your values and core purpose, they become much more resilient. If you believe that you're here to make a positive impact on the world, or that your success is tied to helping others, then your belief system will be much harder to shake when things get tough. Values like love, integrity, perseverance, and service can act as guiding lights, reminding you of what's truly important even when you're facing challenges. When your beliefs are aligned with your core values, they create a sense of purpose that fuels your actions. This purpose acts as a compass, guiding you when you feel lost or uncertain. For example, let's say one of your core beliefs is that you are worthy of success, and that success is meant to be shared with others. When you face setbacks, this belief will remind you that failure is just a step in the process, and it doesn't change your worth. This allows you to keep going, regardless of temporary challenges. The second step in maintaining a lifelong belief system is regular self-reflection. It's easy to fall into autopilot mode and just go through the motions of life, but regular self-reflection helps you assess whether your beliefs are still aligned with your goals and values. Every few months, or even weekly if you prefer, take time to ask yourself some key questions. Are the beliefs I hold serving my growth? Do I still believe in myself and my potential? How can I adjust my mindset to overcome current challenges? Are my beliefs helping me stay positive and resilient? This type of self-reflection helps you catch any limiting or negative beliefs before they take root and start to hinder your progress. It also gives you the opportunity to course correct. Sometimes, we pick up new beliefs or perspectives along the way, and that's okay. The key is to stay aware of your mindset and adjust when necessary. Another crucial aspect of sustaining your belief system is surrounding yourself with positivity and support. As we discussed earlier, your environment plays a massive role in shaping your beliefs. Over time, you'll need to consciously curate the people and influences you allow into your life. Seek out relationships and communities that nurture your growth, challenge your thinking in constructive ways, and inspire you to be your best self. It's also important to embrace change. Life doesn't stay the same, and neither should your beliefs. As you grow, your experiences will shape new perspectives, and it's essential to allow your beliefs to evolve with you. This doesn't mean abandoning your core values, but it does mean being open to adjusting certain beliefs to better reflect your current reality and future aspirations. For instance, if you've always believed that success is tied to working long hours, but now you realize that balance and self-care are more important, you might shift your belief about work and redefine success in a way that aligns with your well-being. Gratitude plays an important role in keeping your belief system strong over time. When you practice gratitude daily, you reinforce the belief that there's always something good in your life, no matter how challenging things may seem. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, and it helps you recognize the opportunities, lessons, and small victories that are constantly around you. The more you practice gratitude, the more your belief system will be rooted in a positive, hopeful outlook on life. Now, let's talk about embracing the power of consistency. Belief is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. You don't just wake up one day and magically have unshakable faith in yourself. You build that faith through consistent action, positive thinking, and reinforcing your beliefs every single day. This is where affirmations, visualization, and goal setting come into play. These practices help you stay connected to your beliefs and keep your focus on what you want to achieve. The last point I want to touch on is resilience. Life will throw challenges your way. There will be times when you question yourself, when things don't go as planned, or when you face a major setback. But here's the thing. Resilience is built when you keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Your beliefs, when nurtured and reinforced, will give you the strength to keep going. It's in those moments of adversity that your belief system will either make you stronger or cause you to doubt yourself. So, when life gets difficult, remember the foundation of your belief system and trust in your ability to navigate the challenges. After all, every setback is just an opportunity for growth. To summarize, creating a lifelong belief system is about consistency, reflection, and alignment with your core values. It's about keeping your beliefs flexible enough to evolve with you, while still remaining rooted in the things that truly matter. By nurturing your belief in yourself, practicing gratitude, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and staying committed to your growth, you'll ensure that your belief system remains a powerful force in your life, helping you achieve success and happiness for years to come.